Before the gamers arrive, the CO should arrange for the gaming guns and devices to all be configured ready for the first mission. Gaming guns should be reset back to appropriate factory defaults. For Battlefield Live genre, the reset modern is used. This term stands for Modern Gaming Gun Set to No Team. For Battlefield Tag, you can either use the reset termed laser tag or any phaser. The latter is best for young children. For Battlefield Live genre, turn off all the small gaming guns, including P90s. Set the combat rifles to H and K G36 emulation, using the Set Emulations option from the common settings. Then turn off all the combat rifles. Set the sniper rifles to the Dragunov SVD and turn them off. Finally, set machine guns to a Mini-Me or M60 GPMG. Turn off all remaining gaming guns. Check the configuration for 2 combination boxes by checking all the common menu options. Common boxes should be set to any team at this stage. 1 combination box should be left on near the armory, so gamers can respawn themselves before briefing starts. A radio repeater should be turned on and placed on high ground in the center of the battlefield. Normally, Capture the Flag is the first mission to run. In that case, configure 2 flag boxes and place these into position on the battlefield. A flag should be positioned above each box to make it easier for the gamers to find it. Before gamers receive their gaming gun, they need to register, normally supplying a completed membership form. The registration officer will then issue the gamer a wristband. This way, all staff members know who has registered. Once the first group is registered, start issuing gaming guns. Try to issue gaming guns as people arrive rather than in one big rush. Be sure to note whether they are wearing a wristband. Before the gamers select their gaming guns, explain they can practice with them before we start, but they should leave the head sensors wrapped around the gaming gun. They can respawn and reload at the combination box. Point out the location of the medic box. Sometimes young players will select one of the larger gaming guns. It's good to explain we have a no sympathy policy. We have a no sympathy policy here at Battlefield Live, which means if you take one of these monster gaming guns which are way too big for you, and later your arms are falling off and you can't hit anything, we're only going to laugh at you. We highly recommend you select something you can handle. If they still want the gaming gun, issue it. Often they will come back after running around before the briefing and swap for a smaller option. Tell the gamers that a full briefing will happen later when everyone is ready. Finally, turn their gaming gun on or direct them to the nearest staff member who can switch on device. Make sure the staff checks that the gamers meet the clothing requirement and have a wristband before turning on the gaming gun. Normally, the clothing requirement in a woodland battlefield is long pants covering their ankles and covered shoes. For a large session, the result of issuing and switching on gaming guns before the briefing can look completely chaotic. But it has dual benefits. The gamers are learning how to play, and they are more patient than if they were waiting around bored. The CO has to arrange the teams. In some sessions there are natural teams, or the group organizer has teams prearranged. In a public session, there is likely to be multiple groups attending, and the CO will need to arrange them in relatively even teams. Where possible, try to keep groups together. Try to put one group with the older gamers with another group with the youngest gamers. Do your best to estimate age and experience to make the teams equally likely to win. Sometimes you will need to ask for volunteers to change teams to even things up. When you're ready to start providing directions to the gamers, such as to tell them what team they are in, use the briefing command on the master controller. Next, allocate the teams their hats. Hats are used to tell the teams. The Alpha team is issued jungle hats, and the Bravo team is issued head wraps. For indoor and mobile operations, colored head wraps can be used along with the laser tag language to have red and blue teams. For gamers on the Bravo team that have a cap, give them the option to wear their own cap. However, they will need to wear this backwards so the brim does not cover the front head sensor. Once they have their team hats, explain how to mount the head sensors. Explain that sensors are mounted front and back, and the cable goes out the back and then runs under their armpit. Before calling all the gamers in for a formal briefing, find a couple of unused gaming guns and make sure they can hit each other and get hit feedback. Also find the boxes you will need for demonstration during the briefing. Get yourself into the briefing area where you're going to speak from and then issue the briefing area phrase. You might need to do this a few times to get everyone's attention. With a large group, try to arrange the audience in a large semicircle in front of you. Don't let people get too close, as it will make it harder for other people to see what you are doing. Practice your briefing beforehand so you can deliver with confidence. Get into character and deliver with personality. Think and act like a professional actor. First off, welcome everyone to the battlefield. Introduce the staff members by their alias. Explain you will take questions relating to each topic at the end of each topic. If you do the briefing correctly, there should be very few questions. The most important part of the briefing is safety. Make sure everyone understands the safety rules and major risks of the activity. For example, Battlefield Live is a non-contact activity. There are no beatdowns, butt strokes, or hand-to-hand combat. Now sadly, we have a very boring insurance company, and they don't understand the need for snipers in the trees. So you can't climb the trees or the buildings. Also remember, the battlefield is not a cleared running track. There are plenty of tripping hazards. Watch where you're going, including when walking along the bush tracks. Next, point out the boundaries of the battlefield. These should be easily identifiable. Then move on to the next topic. The next topic is getting hit. With your gaming infrared sensors, 2 in domes that mount on the head and 1 forward facing mounted on the gaming gun. This is where you can get hit. On your LCD, you will see the first 2 letters say HP. This stands for hit points. The number after the slash is the number of hit points you get when we start each game. This is set to 25, and this means you can be hit approximately 5 times before you are killed. The number before the slash is your current health. When this reaches 0, you're dead. If you pull the trigger when you are dead, your gaming gun will say, "You're dead." If you are hit and you have more than half health, you will hear a near-miss sound effect. If you hit someone with more than half their health points, your gaming gun will say hit. Once you fall below half health, you will hear a wound sound effect. If you hit someone with less than half their health points, your gaming gun will say wound. When you run out of health points, your gaming gun will make a death sound effect. When you do this to someone else, your gaming gun will say kill. If you are killed, return to your base. This is where you started the game from. Here you will find a medic box. Go to the medic box and point your head sensor at the top of the box. Your gaming gun should then say respawn after a second. Next thing to cover is cheating. It is cheating to place your hand over the sensors and the one on the gaming gun. The head sensors must remain on your head during the entire game. If they accidentally fall off, the rule is to stop shooting and stop moving. Only when you have put your sensors back on can you continue to play. And also note, the boxes used for respawns and for objectives are only to be moved by the staff. It's best to cover shooting near the end of your briefing. To hit someone, aim through the scope. You'll see a red dot. Aim the red dot about 2 inches above your opponent's sensor. If you have a machine gun or sniper rifle, you will need to aim about 4 inches above the sensor. Notice that the infrared beams come out of the tube here, so it is important to make sure this tube is clear of any cover. When you're shooting, a muzzle flash comes out of the tube. If you push the black button on the right of the gaming gun, the unit will switch to semi-automatic. Push it again to return it back to fully automatic. Machine guns have full fire only, and sniper rifles semi-automatic only. I will now empty the magazine. You will hear a dry fire noise now when I pull the trigger. This means I'm out of ammo. To reload ammunition, push the red button on the left, let go, and wait a few seconds. If you hear your gaming gun say ammunition when you try to reload, that means you have no more spare magazines. In which case, return to your medic box and point your head sensor at the box for a reload. On your screen, the top right has A for ammo. The second line will scroll through some data, including your current weapon emulation, your number of reloads, and the type of damage and how much damage your weapon makes. Your reload count is listed after the letter R. The number above P, meaning Pearson, is how much damage you will do with this simulation. The third line has H and K. This stands for hits and kills. H is the number of hits you have made without killing. K is how many kills you have made. Next, S indicates how many respawns you have had. The bottom line is the status bar. The status bar will tell you what your gaming gun is currently doing. Each time we start a game, check your status bar has changed to ready. If it still says something like mission stats or session stats, then come and see one of us so we can fix this for you. Now, proceed to the first mission. Once the briefing is done, encourage the gamers to have a drink and tell them we will be moving out in a few minutes. You can use this time to collect any boxes required and to organize your staff. The gamers need to be shown where the objectives are, such as the position of both flag boxes. Any upgrade box's location should also be shown to the gamers. When managing a large group, your voice may not get everyone's attention. To help, use the phrases menu on the master controller. Start with the "following the commanding officer" phrase, and if required, use the "follow me" phrase to get everyone moving. First show them the objectives and upgrade boxes, and then, with the help of this staff, lead the teams to their respective bases. With the master controller, the staff now sets the teams of the gaming guns and the combination boxes. If playing electronic capture the flag, each flag box will need to be assigned a home team. Each team starts in a base with a combination box set to their team. For the first mission of a session, or if any gamers have changed gaming gun since the last mission, the master controller must be used to set every gaming gun to the correct team. After the initial briefing, all the gaming guns should still be in pause state due to the issuing of the briefing command. On subsequent missions, the gaming guns should be in game over state. The start command on their master controller requires the devices to be in game over state or pause state. If you're unsure as to the state of all gaming guns and devices, use the end radio function before issuing a start command. One of the controllers, usually the one held by the CO, should have the mission timer set. This is found on the radio commands menu. Normally this is set to 15 minutes. All other controllers should be set to unlimited time. The controller with the timer then starts the mission with a start command found on the radio commands menu. Note that starting a mission requires a confirmation. A mission timer will now start. If any gaming guns or boxes fail to start up, the new mission command found in IR commands menu on your master controller can be used to start individual devices without restarting the mission timer. With a properly positioned radio repeater, all devices should start up. If they fail, there is likely to be a problem with that device's radio system. Check first that each team's combination box is successfully providing respawns. Wait near your team's box until the first gamer returns and successfully respawns. Next, check the objective boxes, such as the flag boxes, are operational, and then check all upgrade boxes. Make sure they are set to the right team and are not still on the boot screen. If they're on the boot screen, push the green button on the box. For the CO, one of the key roles while a mission is in progress is to make sure the staff allocated to the battlefield are helping the gamers have a fantastic time in a safe manner. All staff allocated to battlefield supervision are there to provide assistance to the gamers, much like a sports team coach. Gamers will not remember everything from the briefing and will need help with the equipment. This is particularly true during the first game, but applies for the entire session. Especially watch for gamers aiming above cover, but with their lens assembly blocked. Let them know they need the lens uncovered. Also help gamers to have their head sensors mounted correctly and make sure the head sensors are not covered by their hat position. The staff should be visible and spread out. Ensure the staff are not all in one place having a chat. They need to be patrolling with their primary focus being on areas of fighting. Staff may well need to handle first aid issues, mostly scratches from foliage or bruises from falling over. The faster these are identified and handled, the better. Staff should be on the watch for cheating. The pause IR command is useful to temporarily stop a player cheating and provide a warning. If one team has stolen a flag box or domination box, you may well need to pause the entire mission by radio command to retrieve the box. Staff should provide assistance to the gamers in finding the objective boxes or their medic box. SATR3 streamlines even sophisticated missions, which frees up staff for other jobs. Once the games start, all the devices can be controlled and monitored by the CO. This also means that during the games is the best time to give your staff short, typically 10 minutes. Staff breaks should start from the second mission.